Is there something that you as a team brings to the table that sets you distinctly apart?
So we care about the customers. That is what is going to set us distinctively apart, because our entire, be it product design, after sales support, everything is built from customer feedback only. Entire set of products that we launch, the relaunches that we do, comes only from the feedback of our customers. We have a separate team of customer support executives right from day one. So we get customers input from day one. In fact, even some of the larger companies in the space do not have a very good customer support. So that's something that we have experienced ourselves when we were customers. So that is something that we would never want to give it to our customers.
The general cookware space, if you remove cookers, is not much. And like you rightly said, it's rather fragmented. The wonderful thing about building a brand online is you're able to reach pan India. One thing that I often do is I download our monthly sales report. I try to pin out all of the new cities, especially the ones I have never heard of. So it makes me understand that our customers are not the people who are only in Mumbai or Bangalore, but really throughout the world. So that, I think, sets us apart. Most of the traditional companies do not have a strong online presence. Most of them are doing it through the help of their distributors or through direct relationship with larger e-commerce players like Amazon. But for us, we are able to build that out. And this is something that will help us scale faster than most people would. Our competitors took 50 years, 30 years, or at least 10 years to get where they are. We hope to shrink that time.
Jagadeesh and Madhumitha, you had to pick a single do and a single don't that you would like to tell entrepreneurs, which would really, really be helpful. What would it be?
A definite do from my experience is to be persistent, because we could really face a lot of hardships and repeated failure. What we see in the news, the wins that they are claiming of other successful entrepreneurs, is after years and decades of failure. They would have tried 100 things 1,000 times before they reach to where they are. So we have to be persistent and keep persevering. So we cannot give up midway. A don't is don't come in it for the money, because there isn't any. So that is something in the early stage, that's something we should not expect. Do not come for the money, because then if you don't get it, you'll feel really disappointed. You need to really be passionate about the idea. You need to believe in what you're doing. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense. You can't do it for 10 years at a row if you don't believe in what you're doing. So don't take something just because it's trending, or don't follow the money. Do what you believe in and will serve a purpose for your customers, and everything else will follow.
Go and talk to your customers first, because we see them continuously talking to other people to raise money and not to build a business, Excel sheet, PowerPoints. They do that, but they never actually talk to their customers. So I would definitely say right from day one, or even in fact before starting the business, start talking to your customers first. They will tell you what you need to do. Please do not look at the valuations and the fundraise that other companies do, because that's a very, very small drop in the ocean. Hardly 1,000 companies get funded a year, whereas millions of companies get started every year. So it's not necessary that you just start a business in that space, you will get funded. That doesn't work that way. The investment space is a very cruel world. You will get to know about it only when you approach it. They are all very nice people. They will very nicely reject you.
And in every industry, it's the same. Everybody looks at the one supernova who has hit it and then say, oh, 10x valuation. That's where I want to be. And that's where I'm going to be. And they come with that kind of an expectation. And you're right. It can get extremely demotivating if they don't get it right from the start, which is what they expected. They may hit it, but they have to have the persistence, like Madhumitha said, and stick to it.
One of the things that is important in an entrepreneurship journey is this word called pivot. Okay, it's a basketball term, but I think it's vital. And one of the things that's nice working with these guys is their willingness to pivot at the critical time and to make decisions. For example, I recollect 3 months ago, we were worried that not so much but they were more worried that the marketing campaigns weren't working so well. So they took a very tough decision of almost changing wholesale the entire marketing team, and the kind of campaigns that they ran. Now, this kind of a decision to make changes, whether it is as dramatic as this, or even to pivot completely to consider the interests of all key stakeholders. Because many times entrepreneurs, there are some entrepreneurs who think of it as I, me, myself. Okay. And like Madhumitha said, it's the money becomes the I, me, myself, and money. So there's a fourth thing that comes. So, but to think of the interests of all key stakeholders, not just investors but other stakeholders, I think is important. Which is the mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make is not validating assumptions. I think assumptions are the mother of all screw-ups, and the more you're able to keep validating and working with those validated assumptions, you cut a better picture. You present a better picture in front of all stakeholders.
When you assume, you make an ass of you and me. That's what they say about assumptions.
Absolutely.
When we listen to Madhumitha and Jagadeesh of Indus Valley and Chandu, the investment director from the Chennai Angels, talk, the first thought that comes to mind is, so that's what a real team sounds like. I love listening to people talk because how else would you come across quaint theories and terms that form valuable insights? Be it the quadrant theory that Jagadeesh shared, which keeps his relationship with Madhumitha the way it is, or the motivation theory that Madhumitha has, or the term that Chandu coined to explain what certainly doesn't work, which is I, me, myself, and money. I loved all of them. I hope you enjoyed listening to them expound their theories, and I hope you found it meaningful. But we aren't done yet. Next week, we meet college mates who gave up their high-powered careers to develop a super niche brand. Our insiders next week are Ivy Chin and Simran Bhasin, who co-founded Bragg, India's first teen innerwear brand. I'll see you next week.